wrong with your mom? She said no.
Thank you, Mom, for telling me no.
She said no.
Sometimes no is great.
Yeah, it
Moms
is.
know best.
That is so true. They truly do. All right, let's get a look outside right now. We're starting off mostly clear. However, we are starting to get a little bit of fog trying to develop, especially for our inland locations. So we're waking up at the moment in Alice down to about a half-mile visibility. Same thing in Sinton as well as Hebronville and Falfurrias. You are down to a 3/4 mile visibility. Here in Corpus Christi, our official reporting site is the International Airport, now down to about a 4-mile visibility. So we're not talking thick fog there at the moment. However, as we go throughout the afternoon today, we will watch that thick fog begin to lift and then also develop along our coast. So I think this afternoon, late morning, early afternoon, that fog will clear inland. It's going to be our coastline that will be tracking the fog and the sea fog at times. This will continue into the afternoon, going into the evening. Then overnight tonight, we'll get some areas of patchy fog, but it shouldn't be as thick or as dense as what we're waking up to this morning. So dropping the kids off at the bus stop this morning, just please be aware of any bus stop locations for those kids because of the fog. And then going into the afternoon, we'll have a mix of sun and clouds, and by pickup, it's going to be warm. But even this morning, we're feeling that warmth. Some of us are in the 70s at the moment, including Rockport and NAS Corpus Christi. The rest of us are in the middle and upper 60s to start. We're going to have a southeasterly wind today at about 10 to 20 miles per hour. So, of course, we're once again talking about above average temperatures, reaching the middle 80s in our central locations. Into the brush country, we're reaching the low 90s. And our coastline, because of an onshore wind plus that sea fog, will stay in the 70s. So what you need to know this morning, we'll start off with that fog. By noon, we'll have a mix of sun and clouds, temperatures in the 80s, and then that sea fog along our coastline throughout the afternoon and the evening as well. Now, tomorrow, it's pretty much a rinse and repeat in terms of temperatures. 70s along the coast, middle to upper 80s in our central spots, and then along our western locations into the brush country into low 90s, but a couple of mid 90s are possible. High pressure's in place all week long, but we'll start to see some changes Friday night into Saturday as a weak front moves in. This mostly is going to be a dry front. Some models are trying to pop up a couple of showers, but even if we do see a little bit of rainfall, it's not going to help bust that drought by any means. What this front is going to do, though, is drop our high temperatures into the weekend. But ahead of that front, it's going to be hot. It's going to be in the mid 90s for our brush country locations. That, coupled with a little bit of wind, we'll have to watch the potential of fire weather for the brush country on Friday. And then your weekend forecast is looking fantastic. Morning temperatures in the 50s and 60s. High temperatures in the low 80s. It'll be gusty on Saturday. Sunday will be better. And on top of that, both weekend days will have low humidity, so it should be a really nice weekend for you. Looking at your 7-day forecast, breezy starting tomorrow all the way through Saturday as that front passes through. And then on Monday, we'll have a mix of sun and clouds. Highs return back to the mid 80s.